Hi, Prodigious Saps people. We are going to do this. We're going to do recaps of all 8 episodes of Lanterns. So this is episode 2, also known as Whoops, Hal. I think that was the title. I didn't really catch the title. I think it said Whoops, Hal.
It was Trustful, which I watched the podcast.
I didn't watch it in the original Spanish.
The writer and Chris Mundy admit the title has nothing to do with anything that happens in the episode. I forget there was an explanation for it, but I forget what it was.
I mean, obviously, trust is the thing.
I'm just trying to figure out if I can trust him.
Though it's interesting. Yeah. We'll talk about it, but the tease for next week does start off with what looks like at least a trust fall, someone falling on mattresses and whatever.
Yeah, it's John, yeah. It looks like he's probably training to fly with he put mattresses down, is my guess. So. That's what that was.
We'll get to that. We need to deal with this episode.
Yeah, sorry.
And it just happened. I just watched it. I don't remember anything about it. So what happened? Actually, I think this one picks up really well, and it sticks to the main
2016 time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised. I thought
you thought every episode would bounce back.
Would have a little bit about, yeah.
I think this is good, though. They're really solidifying. It's like we need to focus on what the central mystery is so you understand it better when we get to the aftermath. Right. And even explain what came before. But right now you need to be with John as he's learning a lot about Hal and about manhunters and all kinds of stuff. And I will say both of our main guys and Kelly McDonald got a lot of great stuff to do in this episode. These people are so good.
Yeah.
It's now I'm like, well, Kyle Chandler, he's your only choice for Hal Jordan. It's obvious. 2 episodes in, I'm like, that's your dude. And they also laid groundwork in the last episode talking about, hey, man, you've been here how long? Is your ring about to run out? And I got to say, I love that. And it's happened in the comics. Again, if I keep bringing up my Green Lantern script, it's just because I had a lot of fun when I wrote it a million years ago, thinking of how to work stuff like that in. When the ring actually did say, it's like power levels at blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I did that in my script. Like Sinestro and Hal are fighting literally above the city. And it's like 12%, 8%. And then finally they both give out and both of them crash to a skyscraper roof. And then they just punch. It's like they have no more, their magic rings are out of juice and they just slug at each other, which was a lot of fun. Anyway, so when that was happening in this thing, I was like going, yay, ring talking, yay.
Yeah, it is cool.
But yeah, essentially, Hal and John split ways in this episode where Hal is staying in Rushville and he's got the detective head on because he is checking everything out and he's got theories which involve a really creepy corpse stealing scene.
Just so crazy.
It's very good. But he sends John. Oh, first there's the thing about he's like, okay, I'm going to teach you how to fly right now. We're going to teach you how to fly.
Yeah.
Because he really would like, if it was possible, that John would just fly back to Coast City, get the lantern and bring it back.
Well,
but he did not think he was going to be able to do it because he already bought a ticket.
He already bought the tickets. Yeah.
What a dick move. But he's right. John is too uptight. He can't just sort of flow with it, and he creates the bird. If nothing else, all of our speculation about the bird has been answered. Except for the thing where he goes, why a bird? Like at the end, he goes, yeah, I don't know. It's just a bird.
The one thing that's hanging out there is the bird we saw in the trailer, the bluebird or something he's talking to in the trailer.
He must have some sort of, connection to birds. But all the stuff we had about, maybe that's his version of like a subconscious thing that he makes. I don't know if we'll ever see the green little bird again, but it served its purpose all the way through. And now we know what he was sticking his hand into.
Well, yeah. It's a little pocket universe.
Where the lantern is kept.
Pocket universe vault. Really interesting. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if is that a standard, lantern equipment that they all store.
I don't know. But basically the whole thing is he's like, all right. And he creates a bird and then he gives him I like that he, like every good trainer, is basically turning everything into like, all right, here's a new exercise. He's like going, all right, you can't fly, but I got you the ticket. You need to go back to my house in Coast City, get the lantern, bring it back. And let's make sure you keep that bird alive.
Yeah. Since it's here. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as you don't fail that, and you have to concentrate or it goes away. And he's like, okay. So he does, he gets on a plane and he's kept the bird around. By the
I
way,
was
the
wondering, like,
bird,
what did he do with the bird on the plane?
I don't know. And plus, I was really fascinated by the fact that it's a green energy construct bird. Now, as we've complained about, it doesn't really glow, but you would still look at it even in like and just go, "What's with that?" What? And when he's in the diner, and, and then the lady shows up, that bird's flying around, and like the waitress isn't
Nobody
looking.
cares.
No one cares. I'm just like, how jaded. They have to all be aliens. I don't know.
Right.
But so that's what Hal's looking to do. He sends John to get the lantern in Coast City. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
And Hal is investigating. He goes to the city, like the town hall meeting where he's convinced they're talking about him. He walks in and they all shut up. And he goes, "You guys were talking about me, weren't you?" And they're like, "No, we weren't. We were talking about the game this Friday." And he's like, "Yeah." And then the attorney guy, who's Sheriff Kane's husband, comes in and is like, "I got you cleared. Everything's fine." And he goes, "What were they really talking about before I came in here?" He goes, "Yeah, I can't really." And Sheriff Kane, we learn about her. I don't know who knew in advance about the Gotham connection because it's not spoken of in the first episode.
Somebody mentioned in the comments that Kelly MacDonald said it in an interview somewhere.
Okay. All right.
But
so
I couldn't find it. So I was doubting it. I was like, that sounds like a fan theory, but it turns out to be true.
Admit, I mean, I know that you, Chad, you've been watching the podcast stuff. I don't do that, generally speaking. I mean, I'm curious, but I think I'll wait till I watch the whole series. I don't want to speculate. I don't want spoilers. But I know that some people watch every interview, like, what did he say over here? Yeah. And on the red carpet, what did they say over here? So I admit that someone must have found out beforehand. And I was
so there may be more to this than we thought, and not some random Barb. It may actually be Barbara Gordon that she was referring to.
Yes.
And probably Jim Gordon himself that she's talking to on the phone when she says that.
And I don't know why I was like going, man, they better not try to be implying that she's like his ex. And that's stupid. I don't know why I would have said that anyway, because we all know that Kane is the maiden name of Batman's mom, and also the name of Kate Kane, who becomes Batwoman.
And interestingly, in this case, it's also the last name of Gil Kane, co-creator of Hal Jordan and the Modern Lantern Corps, and also Bob Kane, co-creator of Batman.
Yeah, the name Kane pops up a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of Kane going on. So at the very least, it's quite possible she's somehow related to the Waynes, but she wouldn't be related to the Gordons or, Barb. But maybe she just knows. And we also don't know she was talking to Commissioner Gordon. It's just a little, they've dropped a little thing that makes people go, ooh, like this.
But now that they gave us a tease and now it's actually been in the dialogue, it's probably going to be relevant to some degree. Might be. I'm amazing.
But so at least not to a level of ridiculous connection, not to the point of like, I was Batman's mother. I was shot in an alleyway, but you know what? I got better and I moved to Nebraska.
I just hope it's not another like Maz Kanata. Like, that's a great question for another time, from Force Awakens or the consequence.
Oh, yeah.
Question that's literally never answered.
It's okay if it isn't. We just sit there going like, oh, how weirdly small the DC universe is. But I was just happy that John goes to Coast City, finds Hal's house, which is a mansion. And here's where this nerd got depressed. Not depressed, but I was a little sad. I do think that people like Tom King, I just burped. It's all right. Everything's going to be all right. Tom King and Lindelof, I think that they like teasing the fans. Like they do things like going, I know what the fan's going to think, but we're not giving that to them. We're going to like veer to the right. Because if you see Hal Jordan's house is a mansion, you're expecting a mention of Carol Ferris. You're thinking, oh, maybe that was, like, oh, I got that in the divorce or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, because she canonically is the only rich person that Hal Jordan ever hung out with, other than like, he knows Bruce Wayne is, part of the Justice League, but all that stuff. So that's what you're thinking, or at least I was as a fan going like, oh, there's going to be a picture on the wall of him and a woman that's like Carol Ferris. And then it's like, how'd you get that house? And it's like, I saved a rich man's son. And I said, buy me this house. As you're like, what? That has nothing to do. And there's no mention of Carol Ferris. When he wakes up in the hospital and she goes, who's Sinestro? That's you were saying that name in your sleep. I was like going, he didn't say Carol. Am I the only person who cares about Carol Ferris?
I think if I mean, unless she was going to be written into the story somehow, that would probably be too much.
She might still be. There might be a mention or something or whatever. I mean, we already had the thing in the first episode where Sheriff Kerry Kane goes, he's really lonely. I'm like, yeah, I think all the stuff that we know or the stuff we associate with Hal Jordan's life and adventures, it's in the past. We missed all of that. So even Sinestro, again, this is like going, oh, hey, what's going on now? Yeah, hold on. Hey, remember when we fought in the antimatter universe? That was cool. Yeah, that was cool. So tell me about John Stewart. Yeah. I mean, but anyway, we're not there yet.
Well, so let's get to the thing he's doing at the stadium with the dead bodies. I love this scene where he first goes there and he rips the bumper. He's trying to get the metal detector to go off.
He walks through it with his belt buckle. He's just like, is this doing anything? Like, does nothing. Yeah. So then he gets
crowbar, does nothing. Yeah,
does nothing. Grabs the bumper off the car and walks through, and it still does nothing. And he's like, which is telling him, he goes, this was never about a metal detector. And he goes, and it's creepy. He grabs a couple of the corpses out of the local morgue and walks them through, and they set off the alarm. It's an alien alarm.
It's such a bold through a china shop way of solving the problem. Like he could have arranged, but he knew he wasn't going to.
Two of them.
Yeah, he just really wanted to be sure.
He really wanted to be sure.
So, and it's just so weird that I loved it. And the thing I loved about this too, in that scene where he is dragging, I think it's when he's dragging the bumper through the thing, the incidental music that's playing.
Yeah,
really reminded me of like late 70s, early 80s, like drama, like that music that you would hear in incidental scenes, like in A-Team
or Simon and Simon. Yeah, sure.
Any of those shows from the era, they'd play this little funky music as people were like investigating things and collecting evidence.
I didn't clock that, but that's nice. Yeah, they are in a weird way because it's a Green Lantern show, but they're working a lot of the detective show tropes, and I'm like, great.
A little bit of a Columbo vibe. A little bit, scenes.
Because I'm the unassuming guy that you think is a doof, but instead I'm thinking my way through all this stuff, and I'm really smart, which is what I've appreciated from the get-go.
You could almost like when he goes to talk to the actor, we keep forgetting his name, who was on Deadwood,
something like that. Who's playing the rancher?
Easily
guy?
Replace him with Columbo in that scene, like, one more thing.
Just one more thing. And then it's like, I have a sniper on you. And as far as I remember, no Columbo had him getting shot by a sniper.
Probably not.
But I did like that, the whole thing. And here's another thing I liked about the portrayal of Hal Jordan to some degree. He is cocky, but he's also not above anybody. He does act like a bull in a china shop and assumes that people will kind of do what he's asking or at least answer his questions because he's Green Lantern. But I like all the times he apologizes. Like when he comes into the meeting, he says like, you guys are just talking about me. But then he's just scooting his like, pardon me, excuse me.
Sorry,
trying to make his way in. And then like after he does put his foot in his mouth kind of and go a little too far and get sniped, when he's having a conversation with Sheriff Kane, he's totally like, "You're right. I'm sorry. I blew that." And you're like,
and even before he does that, she's kind of softened a little bit on him.
Oh I think they've got a good chemistry.
Yeah, well, they already had chemistry, which he noted. It's like, it's the way she hates me. But I think at that point she really realized how dedicated he was, that he really believed, that he was willing to put himself in danger's way, which he does anyway as part of his job. That she was like, oh, this guy's actually, he's a good dude. So maybe I need to stop being
like going, if someone's marriage is kind of, he goes, is your marriage shaky?
Yeah, I love it. There's so many great moments in that scene. He goes like, is it shaky? That sounds like
you're at my bedside. She goes, this is such a really good book.
Call me later.
Yeah.
But when he first gets pulled over and he's pulling over and he kind of looks at the dead bodies, and like, oh yeah, I guess I can't do anything about that. There's a silent moment. He thinks about it for a second. He's like, oh yeah, oh well.
Yeah. But then of course the good reveal is that she is like, he expected her to be very much in the dark. And then she's like going, you took them because you wanted to see if the metal detector was an alien detector. He goes, wait a minute. You know about that? And she goes, look, my father-in-law, that's his whole thing. He's obsessed with this stuff. So yeah. But then he's like, well, where do you get that tech? And then she's like, I don't know.
Because at that point, she's just exasperated to the point. It's like a cat, like there's a cat, he keeps getting into the cupboard or something. Yeah. She's like, God damn it.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm going to go talk to him. And she's like, let me drive you in at least. It's like that kind of thing.
It's like, you're fucking killing me, Jordan.
And let me do the talking, which he doesn't do. A lot of the stuff that we saw in the trailer that had the bird in it and like action stuff, this is all in the same episode. So the bird is created. He doesn't know how to fly. He goes to Coast City. He gets the lantern in the big mansion. He feeds the alien plant. That's great. Love the Earl thing. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's from the comic.
Make me see more.
Make me see more.
Yeah. And I also like the way when he talks to Earl, he goes, we got something in common. I used to be really into hamburgers. And that they had that in the flashback.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, we're going to have hamburgers. Like
that's
after
right.
he shoots the apple off his head. So at some point he became vegan. I do know, of course, when he had to give the password, I was like, oh, that's great. Mogo.
Mogo.
Was it Mogo doesn't socialize or something like that?
Yeah, I kept thinking Mogo don't play that. Mogo ain't got time for that.
Mogo don't play that.
So Mogo is essentially like DC's answer to Ego, right? Ego,
well, I mean, he's a living planet, yes. Yeah. Though he's a good guy. He's a Green Lantern. Right. There's an entire planet, sentient world that is a Green Lantern, and that's Mogo. And I was like, he mentioned Mogo, and I did a little dance. But in Coast City, our boy John, he gets abducted by what I thought was going to be the Manhunters, because in the trailer we had seen that what's his name? Ben. He's got the hyphenated last name, and my brother was like,
Ben Victor.
Yes, thank you, Ben Victor. And I love that guy, and he's so good in his scene that I was like going, I kind of wish he was playing Sinister.
He's delightfully sinister.
He's very good. But the thing is that just like in the first episode, our expectations have been fumbled. Is that I thought they were Manhunters, and they were, because we also saw them in the trailer putting that gun to John's head. We're like, oh my God, they have to be bad guys. No, they are in league with the guy who blew himself up in the first episode. Mm-hmm. They have come for vengeance because their entire world.
You called it last week.
Yeah.
You said the guy was going to turn out to be heroic.
Yep. And he did. And I mean, they have conditions. They're basically saying like, look, if you find the Manhunter and turn him over to us, then we're out. But you've got 48 hours.
It's really not that they're heroes to the eyes of Earth. They're just they're not the main
they
antagonist.
Keep saying like, we don't want to do any violence and we don't want to kill any innocent people. However, the Manhunters wiped out our entire world.
Right.
And they give us some backstory, which is very interesting, because they don't say by name, but they say, we thought the Manhunters were all wiped out after what they did. Oh no, they haven't done anything to their world yet. Turns out there was one living amongst us. And that guy essentially rose in power, wiped out our world. Then a Green Lantern showed up and took the Manhunter and said, don't worry, guys, I'm going to kill him. It's like, I will execute him. But instead, apparently he brought him here. And John's like,
Green Lantern probably was Abin Sur.
Yeah. Then you get Hal later going like, Abin Sur did it. It's like, oh my God. So Abin Sur was a rebel Green Lantern. So we don't know who that Manhunter was. We don't know what became of him, but we assumed that, it'll end up being the guy who's the boss that rancher guy reports to. That's still mysterious.
I think that's who they think they want us to think.
Well, sure, because it's a mystery figure that they've talked about in 2 episodes that still doesn't have a name. And Hal thinks it's kind of amusing. He's like going, yeah, you're big boss man. Do you trust him? Do you know who he is? It's like, do I know him?
Right.
He's like,
I have a theory, actually.
I want to hear it.
Well, I'll get to it. There's a scene where we see.
I'm sorry. Were you not ready with your theory? I'm sitting here waiting. It's now 2 a.m. I'm about to go to sleep. No, I'm just joking. No, we'll wait till we get there. So that's stuff we learn. And they basically tell John that what the gun to the head thing was, we find out is it's weird, but it's the way that they are implanting the memory of what happened to their planet into John's head. So he comes out of it like, now I know a lot more.
Yeah, his head's just hanging. It's like, fuck.
Yeah,
it's like a little bit like the torture device in Andor, which did a similar thing to its victims or to the subjects.
But this is just basically like, this is the easiest way to do it, is not me telling you, because it'll be abstract. But if we implant this memory in your head, you're going to feel the same thing we felt. And that's a pretty hardcore thing, because now they've burdened him with this. So when he gets back to Hal and he has the lantern, and even though it was quick, we get Hal rejuicing the ring. And I like the way he's like try to save Black Snake. He does the whole thing. It's like, boom, now he's back.
It's like, it reminded me of My Country, the Sweet Land of Liberty. But I thought that was so cool that they did that, because he is a little wary and jaded at this point. Obviously, we bring up the point of the suit. He says, I don't want the suit. He brings it anyway. And then he winds up wearing it, which is really interesting.
Yeah. Because he was going to see the bosses. He was going to Oa.
That's part of it too. But I think John's kind of in that scene. Starts to get through to him a little bit.
Yes. They're rubbing on each other.
Like there's a softening between him and Carrie Kane. Yes. It's after he's really just being a dick to John.
Yeah.
And about the bird construct, thinks that, well, hurrah. And then he immediately goes, he feels bad, like almost immediately.
Because basically John's like going, okay, well, are you ever going to acknowledge the fact that something that's supposedly impossible, because I wasn't even wearing the ring, but it was my will that kept this thing around and alive, and supposedly no one, and you knew that was impossible.
He knew it, but he didn't want to say it.
But I did it. So how about I get a fucking hoorah? And he just goes, hoorah.
Yeah.
Hoorah.
And then he goes like, 48 hours, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's, I mean, you could say that obviously the reason when he was unconscious in the hospital and was probably saying Sinestro, and then I like where she's like going, tell me about him. And then then he's like, that is classified information. And she just pulled it up on Wikipedia. She goes, oh, but it says here. And I like that he's like, well, damn it. But obviously the reason it's on his mind is he's putting all this together, and he's sitting there going like, there's somebody who knows. I assume it's similar to the comics. In the comics, the Guardians, they never kept it secret necessarily, but they were not proud of the stuff with Manhunters. So yes, eventually Hal Jordan finds out, but it's not something once you become a Lantern, they go, here's our history. They still keep secrets from the Lanterns. So this thing where John says it to him, we saw that in the trailer, like, what do you know about Lanterns? Where'd you hear that word? And then we know that Hal knows something, and so it's like, okay, Abin must have done that. But even he is going all the way back to Oa to talk to his worst enemy. Like, what do you know about Manhunters?
Yeah.
And then Sinestro is the way we cap it. And I'm totally happy to get some Sinestro. I mean, it's sad that there's just a little bit. I'm like, I want to know more of how this guy's playing them.
Give us the whole scene. I was looking at the time. I was like, crap. It's over.
But I did like the way there was, again, the writer brain is that he goes, I can tell you that they are the second most, biggest threat that you will be facing. And I wanted him to go, I'm the first. I wanted that. Right, yeah. I wanted that kind of,
because it's me, obviously.
Yes, but I think they are implying something else, and it won't be.
Well, he clearly knows about Jon Stewart and why he knows, as we saw in the trailer before, that he knows a little bit more about Jon Stewart than Hal does at this point.
Yeah.
And the question I have in my mind is how. I'm guessing it depends on the timing of when Hal took Sinestro down and put him in prison, because the Guardians have been grooming John for a long time.
So it's quite possible that even when Sinestro was still in the Corps and not a bad guy yet, he may have already known, because who knows, maybe it was like only 18 years ago or something that Sinestro went off the reservation. But I mean, he could just be like, rumor has it they are grooming a kid on Earth to be the next Earth-based Lantern, which is odd.
There's some more clues in the trailer for next week's episode.
I mean, essentially, we have gone through this episode. All the stuff, I mean, I liked it. This stuff is just solid. I'm loving the characters and the dialogue.
One thing we didn't touch on, this is what I was getting to with my theory. When John comes back to Rushville.
Yeah.
Oh. Ooh.
When
he gets back to Rushville, instead of going straight back to the motel, he goes to the diner first to have a cup of decaf.
Yeah.
Just to clear his head is what he says.
And there's Rancher's wife.
Zoe Macon happens to be sitting right there.
Oh, thank you for remembering her name.
So I looked it up. She reads his expression saying, "It's a small town, it's bound to happen." But I think she knew he was going to be there.
Oh, the way they're playing it, and again, to watch it end up being nothing. I still think what I said at the very beginning, both Hal and John are being manipulated to some degree.
Oh, and
yeah. I do think
big time.
There's no mystery about her being at the bar, her hooking up with John. She's worked her way in, and now he's still talking to her. What's weird is first he goes like, "No, I'm good. I just need to clear my head. It's good to see you, whatever." But then he's right back at her table. He can't help himself.
He's into her.
And I just like go, man, dude, come on.
Careful.
Be smart. Be like a smart detective.
Here's where I started getting really curious about her because he talks about he's questioning their relationship. You know, it's a weird relationship you've got with your husband there. He's weird, but you're not weird. You know, because I like you, obviously. But she's like, "You sure I'm not weird?" And my husband protects me, and but I love him. He loves me, and I love him. And that's when I started thinking, I think Zoe is the manhunter. And I think
could be.
I think Megan has gone through all this trouble to protect her.
Oh, so he knows
no aliens. Yeah, he's trying to protect her from the
specifically.
aliens.
Yeah, except for they have a kid. And can the manhunters reproduce?
Well, she mentioned. I don't think she's the. He said he could have come here with a blonde bimbo, but instead he chose me. I think he moved there from Texas, is what she said. He could have come here with a Texas bimbo, but he wanted me. I think she was already there. Which, if she is the manhunter, she would have been there. No.
But they do have a kid, which is our boy Jason Ritter. So
right. he could have been. He could have been from a
previous wife. Okay.
Yeah.
I like your theory.
Anyway,
I had similar thought.
We're adopted. Who knows?
But the idea that I didn't have that you did is that Macon's aware of this. Yeah. That's very clever. I like it. My thought was Macon is being also manipulated, and he is the mercenary force that we're keeping aliens out, and he has no idea he's working for an alien. So if like his boss,
possible, yeah.
Whether the boss is a manhunter or some other person who's protecting a manhunter or whatever, but using this guy's paranoia as like a weapon, and it's like, man, if he found out he's actually working for aliens, that'd be great. But we don't know. They are setting up mysteries.
I just saw another theory, and this is probably
where was it? Did it just zoom by? It went by fast. I didn't see it.
Just now. We were there.
Holy shit.
I was watching Ryan Airy's breakdown of the episode on Screen Crush. I didn't get all the way through it, but his theory, he didn't make the connection I did, or have the theory I did about Zoe possibly being the manhunter they're looking for. But he thought that she might be a Star Sapphire, obviously not Carol Ferris Star Sapphire, but
because
one of the Star Sapphires.
She's working the Ceci.
Yeah, and because she's she mentions love. I mean, so I maybe. But that to me seems too cluttered.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I respect that as a comic nerd opinion.
Yeah.
But I think what you're getting at is much more, it guys,
fits.
You can't overstuff.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're already dealing with lanterns and that lore for people who have no idea, and they're trying to get people who aren't comic nerds to watch the show, which I think is working. Yeah. But they have to explain a whole hell of a lot. And they've included manhunters. Dude, I'm sorry. They're not going to be working in Star Sapphire. If they say Carol Ferris, I'll be happy. I'm not expecting an actress to come and going, hello, I'm Carol Ferris. But in other words, I think that this is all groundworky, and maybe season 2, we get into Star Sapphires or whatever. I'm not saying he's wrong. If they go there, I'll be happy because I can roll with it. What the hell? If they bring them all in, I'll be like, yeah. Manhunters and Star Sapphires and Zamorons bringing where the weaponers acquired. Where are you at? Woo, woo, woo. That's my weaponers acquired.
Screen Crush, they often have very wild theories that oftentimes turn out to not be true at all. He was the one who thought that Spider-Man was going to be on the Daredevil show, and that Daredevil was going to be in Spider-Man.
I mean, that's all wishful thinking, and it's not like it's something we don't want, but you also have to think in terms of how a show is made, and also how much you can shove down an audience's throat. The big mistake of a lot of the superhero movies, the worst ones we can name, are usually when they got to a point where they just went crazy, where Batman had 3 villains in a movie and had no screen time himself. And they was like, oh, let's have Robin and Batgirl and Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy and Bane. And you're like, what the and Spider-Man 3. Sandman's great. He can't hold the whole movie though. So let's have Son of Green Goblin going crazy, and we're also going to have Venom in there. Why not? It's like, that's too fucking much.
It is.
If it turns out that she's a Star Sapphire, I will not do anything because I can't give money or any. I'll just go, you were right.
But we'll there see. You go. I'm just curious because they're really her character is turning out to be a lot more important than
it's true.
Than I thought she would, and if it turns out she is connected to that would fit. So who knows? That's interesting. But it made me think of Hall & Oates. Immediately as I thought that, I was saying, ding, 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 ding. Yeah, she only comes out at night.
Oh, here she comes. Watch out, boys. She'll hunt you up. Oh, here she comes. She's a manhunter. I do think that's a good fake out because just generally speaking, even though I myself know that the manhunters can appear as whoever, but you do picture them as human man-shaped androids before they turn into whoever. So it would be a great fake out where she turns out to be the important MacGuffin alien.
Yeah.
And her transforming into like a manhunter would be pretty baller.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
As long as she says no man escapes the manhunters, because that is their catchphrase.
That would be
and
so
if it
great.
Doesn't happen, I'm out. I'm out. I'm leaving. I'll get on.
So in the trailer, the trailer for next week's episode,
I did see it.
It's very brief, but there's a lot of really interesting things in it. Looks like we're going to
get a Green Lantern T-shirt.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to learn a lot more about what John's father's deal was.
Yes,
because it looks like to me, I have a little theory. But she says something like, "Yeah, I've been ready for this since I was a baby, or whatever, or I know why I was chosen, or something." Because
John is talking to Laura Linney's guardian who's character, just Laura Linney. And she's like going, it seems like you don't, a lot of people ask why me. He goes, I know why me.
I know exactly
He's a little cocky.
Right.
It's like,
So then we cuts to a shot of him as a baby bathed in green light. And then we see his father in bed seeing the same green light and waking up and looking. And then it cuts to his father shooting a television set. And this is the shot I was talking about. It goes by really quickly. If you pause it, you see it's the news story about the first appearance of Hal Jordan as Green Lantern before they knew he was Hal Jordan. And he's got the mask on. He's wearing the mask.
Oh, he's got the mask on?
He's got the fucking mask on, man.
Dude, that must have gone by faster than light.
You literally have to pause it because I was like, what is it? What is it? I miss it. I go back.
I remember the TV getting shot. I just didn't register what was on it. Wow. I love it. So he does start with a mask. And then later on is when he goes, hi, I'm Hal Jordan. I'm a test pilot now.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I have to say, I still not a huge fan of the suit. He looks pretty good in it in this episode. We actually see him in it.
It's okay.
It's pretty obvious now at this point. I think this was already obvious, but I think they've gone back in post and made the suit greener than it was in the initial trailers.
I had the exact same thought because the thing is, it still looks a little worn, and I'm sure that's on purpose. It's like he hasn't worn it in a long time, and he probably wore it for a long time. He has other nicer ones he has in bags. Mm-hmm. But I also think I just think it's weird. I always thought of, the ring makes the suit is what I always thought. But as people pointed out, you go back to the Silver Age, and he did have them hanging in a closet. So it's just weird.
He literally took Abin Sur's suit in the original version.
Yeah, left us just naked red alien dude just out there.
I can see why it allows some interesting story beats in this because you get the scene of John, picking it up and having this moment with the suit.
I liked that moment because to him, he's going to be the new guy. And what he can't quite understand from Hal is Hal's lackadaisical nature about it because he's just so... he's kind of jaded. He's nothing's going to surprise him anymore, that kind of thing. But he's also just a little disappointed because he still has the child, hero worship thing. So he's holding that uniform. He's like going, I'm going to be in this. I'm going to be the Green Lantern. He wants it. And I like that. It's like, wow, that's a great take.
So this is one of my theories for next week's episode. We won't have to wait too long to find out about this. I think what's going on in those scenes with John as a baby and his dad seeing the green light, I think that the ring came to John's father first. That if obviously we know that Hal got it because Guy Gardner was too far away. Maybe John's father was first in line, but he didn't answer the question correctly. That he said,
"Oh, so it weighs on him."
And then maybe, but this is where the mystery still is. Like, why did the Guardians then come to him and say, "Well, we're gonna have some talks about your baby"?
As if the Stewart bloodline is like, you were always destined to be.
So there's something
Lantern.
still really strange about that. I don't get. But when I saw the green light bathing both of them, I was like, "Oh, is that the ring showing up?" Because why would the Guardians be showing up in green light? So I don't know.
Oh no, Guardians show up in green light.
I guess they would. Yeah.
I mean, they're blue, but they show up in green light because that's their power source. Is the great battery on?
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that it could be that's when they show up, and you might be right. But let's say that instead it is just that they go, "Hey," and that's where we probably get that scene of her transforming in front of the mom and the baby. It's like, "Hey, your kid's gonna be important. He's gonna be a Lantern."
But there's clearly some kind of deep resentment between John's father and Hal.
I wonder if it's interesting that in this, we don't know Hal's background in the show. Canonically in the comics, Hal has brothers, so the Jordan brothers, and they have remained in continuity. They show up occasionally, and it's like, oh yeah. So, but this seems to be the reverse. They've given John Stewart, like, he has like a couple of brothers we saw in the flashback. So I think it'd be interesting if, like, I just wonder what they would think. It's like, do we get scenes where they're going, oh, here comes the big shot guy, he's the intergalactic cop now. Oh. Are they jealous because clearly John was like the special ones? Like, oh, he gets to have an apple shot off his head.
Right.
I want an apple shot off my head. But I don't know. Like I said, they're teasing stuff out, and even though it's going to be only 8 episodes, I actually think that's pretty good idea. And Marvel's been doing the same thing, which is instead of stretching it out with a lot of filler. And no offense to like the Netflix Daredevil and Luke Cage and stuff. It's like maybe they would have been better if they had shrunk it down and just tight 8 episode seasons.
Yeah.
So I think, and with these writers who are all really good, I don't think we're going to have one of these shows where we're like going, well, this week was, it was all right.
Yeah. It was okay. Yeah. So let me wind back around to where you stopped me before, which I
will always stop you before you kill again.
A couple questions that have been plaguing me about Hal Jordan's body that they find at the end of last week's episode.
Yes.
Chris Mundy said in last week's podcast. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, y'all. He said that in reference to what I was just talking about, Hal's death and their decision, why it was kind of a thing they were a little nervous about doing, and they weren't sure they're going to get permission to do it from the heads up at DC Comics, and they did. But in talking about that, then Chris Mundy adds at the end of that, but again, he said the cool thing about these shows is that there's sci-fi rules that you can break within them, so nothing's ever as clear as you think it is.
Sure.
So just for the people watching at home, and the host of the podcast kind of looks at the camera and goes,
so nothing's ever as clear as you think it is. For those of you watching at home.
Yeah.
So but whatever that means, he's probably just talking about the hologram. That's sure. One possibility. Another thing I was just thinking about, because it is really one of the things that's really weird about where his body is, where they apparently find him. He's sitting in the exact same spot that he favored in those bleachers, in the exact same pose, almost very similar clothes with his collar up. It's probably not the same jacket, but the collar up.
He always wears that, though. He was wearing it 10 years ago when he made the hologram.
Yeah. Well, that was a different jacket, too, and he had a different shirt underneath. But the only difference between these Hals, which is why I don't want to place too much importance on how much it appears he's aged, because there's not much difference between 1996 Hal, 2016 Hal, and 2026. He still looks the same age that he did.
They haven't done too much de-aging, and it was just about darker hair back in 1996.
I think it's clear. It seems to me like his body was deliberately put there by whoever killed him for a reason, to get John's attention, is my guess.
Sure.
But here's the weird thing about it, because we've been told by Tom King in that same podcast interview from last week that Guy has the ring now. That's literally what he says, that Guy has the ring now, not he has Hal's ring, but he has the ring.
So there is only one ring for this sector?
There's still only one ring at this point. So there remains the question, like you were trying to figure this out earlier, like why did John not become Green Lantern after his training. And the question is, okay, well, why did Guy wind up getting the ring after? And so I have some theories. Like I'm wondering now, did Hal actually just die then, or has he been missing for a long time and they're just now finding his body? That made me wonder, like if he disappeared under strange circumstances, maybe that's why John's looking for the ring, just because he's not sure if there's some time manipulation that's going on, or because he would know. Obviously, he would know that Guy has the ring. So that makes me wonder.
Chad Smalley, you are speculatron.
Why would he be looking for the ring if he knows that the guy already has?
Because I don't know, but I don't think they would automatically assume that Hal, even if he vanished for 10 years, was being time manipulated. I mean, he's a Green Lantern.
Well, just because he reappears right where he'd been 10 years before.
Yeah, obviously. But if he was out and about, they would have assumed until his body was found, he's just doing Green Lantern stuff in space. I mean, I assume that they're like, I don't think he disappeared, just that they weren't hearing from him, maybe.
But the question then remains, like, because Guy's been Green Lantern for several years, at least at this point.
Yeah.
Why did he get the ring and not John? Where did Hal go when this happened? There's a lot of questions.
Well, there's also the possibility that by the time Guy comes around, that there's another ring. I mean, there's a possibility that Guy both had rings, even though
that has been my assumption.
Going like, yeah, that's Hal's ring. Like that I hadn't heard, but it's okay.
Right.
Weird.
I mean, I think that's been a lot of people's assumption, because that is canon. It's been canon in the comics for a long time that there are multiple lanterns.
Yeah. Literally especially Kyle Rayner, when he had to rebuild the core, and he was the only Green Lantern in all of the universe. And then he's like, I'm going to rebuild the core. And he basically created millions of rings for other lanterns. So you can just make them, apparently. And I will also stress that that's comic book jibber jabber. You can just, whatever the rules are, it's like, yeah, sure. So hold on. I just created a ring for you.
They're leading us to believe that there is only one ring. And so that is kind of the driving force of the story right now. So it remains a mystery. Along those lines, there was that thing I sent you. This was a thread comment that James Gunn responded to a few days ago.
Yes.
That somebody was theorizing, hey, James, could it be that the appearance of Superman and Kara, Supergirl, on Earth has something to do? Is that why the core decides that Earth needs more than one lantern? And James Gunn says, you'll find out.
and I don't doubt that we will.
Yeah, I know. So I found it interesting that he responded to that one.
Maybe if the Guardians, I mean, this is not necessarily my theory, I'm just going along that thread. Maybe the Guardians knew, I mean, obviously they know about Krypton. They have Green Lanterns everywhere. Even Krypton had a Green Lantern. I mean, not specifically from Krypton, but they were in a sector of space that was covered by Green Lanterns. So it's quite possible, let's say that in the Gunverse, that Kryptonians, which I always thought were very cool people, we're like, okay, if we have to go out into other worlds, we will reshape them in Krypton's image, and therefore they seem like a threat. And they would also understand that someone of that physiognomy under a yellow sun would become incredibly powerful. So maybe they're sitting there going like, oh shit, did a Kryptonian survive and ended up on a yellow sun planet? We need to keep an eye on that, because let's say he ends up being a crazed, super powerful dictator who's it's like, okay, we got to step in. So yeah, I could see that. However, they would just need to meet Superman for like a couple minutes ago. You guys are good.
Well, and guys are good. That's what this commenter was thinking. My thought was like, well, maybe the Guardians know that Brainiac is out there and that he's going to have a special interest in Superman. Any Kryptonian survivors.
Brainiac is a universal villain, true, but it is almost weird. You get into the comic book, the mentality of, these are the characters associated with Green Lantern. These are the characters associated with Batman. These are the characters associated with Superman. I do occasionally like when they trade up their villains, and it's like, why is Superman going up against the Joker? That makes no sense. But I mean, when they do stuff like that, it's like, it can be fun. But you got to think, if it's all this one universe, you're right. It's quite possible, though I don't think I've ever read a comic where the Guardians stepped in where Mongol or Brainiac or one of Superman's big intergalactic villain shows up. I'm like, hey, Lanterns, That would be a good time to show up.
Yeah.
But maybe so. Maybe they're like going, Brainiac is a force that needs to be reckoned with. And
because the amount of names that have been announced for this, I mean, there's rumors that obviously we know Jon Stewart's going to be in it. We know Guy Gardner's going to be in it.
Yes.
There's been rumors that Wonder Woman's going to show up in it, all these different people. And it makes me think that it's probably not going to, all these characters are probably not going to be in the entire story, but there probably is going to be one huge global level battle for Earth. A lot of heroes showing up to defend Earth from Brainiac.
And that's like if you were reading an issue of Superman, and that's the freedom they have, is literally, it's like, this doesn't have to be a multi-issue, maxi series where everyone's involved, but why not in one issue where Superman's like going, I'm going to need some help. Calls the Justice League. They all show up. Mm-hmm. Awesome. I got no problem with that. I want that all day long. Yeah. And it never needs to be mentioned in season 2 of Lanterns. Right. If they do, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. They're bringing up the Brainiac thing. That's really cool. But if they never do, fine. If Peacemaker never goes, why didn't you guys call me? I was ready.
He's on what's the name of that planet?
That's right. He's over in Salvation.
Salvation. Yeah. Terminus. I got that from Walking Dead.
I can't wait till they get there. But so far, it's been a kicker of a show. I'm really enjoying it, and I hope you guys are too. And if you're not, you're welcome to not like it. But let us know why. And
those people are not watching at this point.
I think it's dumb.
We want to hear your theories too. All these wacky theories we've been kicking around. I'm sure you've got your own ideas.
Yes. And I will talk to you later, mine friend.
All right, man. Talk to you
soon. He is good, and that is understood. His name is Chad.
Is that the opening, like the overture to the Chad musical?
It is.